Hey guys, so I wanted to share with you the new die cut sets from Dear Lizzy and Maggie Holmes. They're $18.99 a piece, which is pretty expensive for a scrapbooking thing of any type from Dear Lizzy or Maggie Holmes. But this is a new product, so I really wanted to try it out and give you guys a fair and honest review. So this is the Dear Lizzy set. Comes with this scallop frame, these two hearts, a little air balloon, this tiny little bow, an envelope with a heart, and it's got some embossing lines there. This love, and a little feather. So I tried cutting both of these sets out on cardstock and pattern paper. I tried different settings on my die cut machine. I used the Sizzix Big Kick. So I tried some different options, but this shows you how those hearts came out, and they came out really well. I mean, they're just, it's just a border, so it came out really easily. And then the feather had a little bit of a harder time. It's a little bit more wrinkled than it probably should be. It didn't cut perfectly, but this was my first attempt, and I think I'll have better success with it as it breaks in. Here's the envelope, and I'm going to hold it up really close, and I want you guys to be able to see the little pinpricks, and those are from where you have to push the die out. It's wedged in there really tight, and this was the case with almost all of the dies. So you can see the little holes where you have to push it out. And I used this little paper piercer tool because any tool that I had that would fit into these little holes had a pointed end. So I can't really blame the tool because everyone would have a pointed end and it would leave those little poke marks. So that's just something to be aware of. I'm not very happy with that part of the die set. Here's the hot air balloon. And again, you'll notice those little pinpricks. And then on this one, the little pieces did not want to come out very well. They didn't cut perfectly, and then that edge is so thin that it's going to be hard to get a good cut line on it. Here's the scallop border piece. Again, it came out really easily just because it was more of a border piece than an intricate detail. Here's the little bow. There it focuses for you. And here is the love. And the love does have a few little strings around the edges, but you could just pluck those off. The L is a little bit difficult to get out. I just kind of used this paper piercer tool and worked up underneath it. So, you have to be a little bit careful, but it does work. So, those were the Dear Lizzy set. And one thing I want to mention is whenever I was taking these out of the package, they were very, very difficult to get out of the package. They left a sticky residue on the back of most of them that I'm going to take off with some rubbing alcohol. But it was very frustrating getting them out of the package. I know that sounds like a small thing, but the glue that held them to the backing was so tight. It was literally a struggle to get this out of the packaging. Okay, so now we have the Maggie Holmes dies. And I left these on the sheet for you guys to see how they pop out. for two reasons. A, just so you can get an idea of how both sets works, if you don't have any dies or you're just wondering. So there's the little hole, and you just poke it in there, and it should pop out. It takes a little bit of pressure, and I just kind of work this underneath here. And there you go. And like I said, I tried this out with different thicknesses of cardstock and patterned paper. So don't let this be the only thing that you think you can cut it out with, because it's definitely not. But this is just the example that I wanted to show you because I didn't want to waste any more paper on this product. So just kind of speed through this here. And as you can see, most of them pop out fairly well, especially on these bigger shapes. They pop out pretty well. But you'll see my dilemma here in a minute. And again, I really hate that it leaves that little dimple mark in these dies. And that's just a flaw in the design, because they could have made the holes bigger to pop them out of. Okay, so before I pull out this camera piece, I just want to show you how this is supposed to work. This forms a little bow. And what you do is you run a pen, or in my case a popsicle stick, and you get a little curled edge. And then you would glue this just like that, and just like that. And it forms a little bow. And then you put that little strip and you wrap it around. And it makes a little bow. One problem though is it doesn't come out quite as curled and rounded as I would like. That side is kind of flattened, merely because the bow is so small. So you just don't have the room to get that nice rounded bow shape like I would like. So that's one problem that I have with the set, in addition to the difficulty of getting the pieces out. So this is the camera. As you can see, it is very detailed. On the back, there's a lot of holes, which is my first clue that this is going to be kind of a problem set. So you do the best you can popping the little pieces out that you're going to get rid of anyway, because those aren't, you know, those are just for the outline. But, and of course, whoops, there goes my pen. Of course, you know, the little heart pops out of the center, and you could always save that. But see, look how easy that was to rip that. And, I mean, it's not a huge deal because it was already going to be popped out. But that is a problem that you might have. So I'm just going to kind of run my tool around. I'll keep popping these holes out a little bit. And then you can see these narrow strips of paper. They're a little bit more difficult to come out. And this is my 4th time trying to get these shapes to come out. So this isn't, you know, my first try or anything. Like I said, I tried different methods and different settings. So it seems to be coming out a little bit better this time than it even did the previous time. But if you'll notice how thin this edge is right here. It is almost impossible to get it to come out without warping the paper and without damaging the paper or ripping it or tearing it. And so I have decided to return this set because honestly it's so stuck in there. I feel like no matter how patient I was and how slowly I go, it still doesn't want to pop out very easily, which first of all is just frustrating because it's time consuming. But you can already see how warped the frame is. And like I said, this is not cheap cardstock. It's not the most expensive. Oh, and I ripped that because I was in a little bit of a hurry. But like I said, this is my 4th time of doing it. So you can see how it doesn't want to sit flat. It's got all the little poke marks. And I don't like this set, to be honest. I think this was a little bit over ambitious. It was too detailed. And it just does not look right. And I don't think even if you glued it to your project, I think it would still have that delicate effect. So I purchased this from Two Peas in a Bucket, and I'm going to ask for my money back, and I'll see how their customer service goes. But one other thing I wanted to point out to you is they made all these holes, and you can punch out all of the pieces except for this little guy right here. This guy does not have a hole to punch him out from the back side, and it's like almost impossible to pull that piece out without being able to poke it from the back. So that's just one other thing about this Maggie Holmes set that I do not like. So even though the camera was really even a secondary part of why I wanted this particular kit, the bow just is not exactly what I expected. Like I said, it's a little bit too small to really get that nice rounded edge. So I'm hoping Two Peas in a Bucket will be cooperative and let me have my money back. Because I do plan on returning this set. The Dear Lizzy set, I am a little bit on the edge about. I don't like the dimples in the paper, but overall I found the Dear Lizzy set to be much better in terms of value, in terms of how it cut things out. I mean, it is a little less detailed, so that's definitely a big help. I really like the love. The scallop border and the hearts came out really well. The bow came out fairly well. The hot air balloon, not so much because of these thin little edges right here. But I think I'm going to keep this set. I like the heart. I like the scallop. And that's enough reason for me to keep it. But like I said, I do plan on returning this set. I'm a little bit on the fence, but I do think I'll end up keeping this set. I can get a little bit more use out of it. It's got 8 pieces versus the 5 in this set, even though they were both $18.99 on Two Peas in a Bucket's website. So that's my honest review after doing a few attempts cutting these out. So I just wanted to share with you guys what I learned from my experience. So hopefully you can see what they look like, decide whether or not you want to buy them, or if you'd rather spend your money on some different product. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. And if you like the review, please leave me a comment, because I don't know whether you guys like seeing the reviews or if you'd rather see just the process videos or the unboxings. So leave me some comments, like the video, share it, let me know your opinion, and subscribe to my channel to see more content soon. Thanks, and have a great day.